Entrepreneurship is an evolution. Let's learn how our next guest evolved from social media manager to master photographer.
Hey out there, it's Lauren Powers, business and marketing coach, sharing stories of bad entrepreneurs turned profitable business owners and how you can learn from our stories to help you grow in your own business. These are real stories, y'all, so it's gonna get real spicy. Hold up, let's get it.
Hey, we are back. We are back for another episode of the Bad Entrepreneur Podcast with my girl, my homegirl, the Monica Farber. And y'all, she actually did all these pretty photos that you see on the Bad Entrepreneur Podcast, like the whole design. She did all of those photos. She was, hey girl, you were helping me plant seeds years ago.
I know. It's not hard when your model looks like that.
Hello. You know, this is how we do. I'm excited that you are here because your story, we've been a part of each other's story for a long time. Like we have been kind of like trying to figure out our space in entrepreneurship. And when I first met you, when you slid into my DM, y'all, you know, you gotta put yourself out there, right? So you DM'd me about possibly exchanging some services because I was still training people at the time, and you were doing social media kind of on the side because you were still at Phillips.
Yes.
So tell me about like that whole period of time, what you was trying to get out of and get to.
Right. I'm all about a good trade if it's mutually beneficial.
For sure.
So I find Lauren on Instagram and I'm like, damn, she knows what's up.
She needs some help.
Well, no, I need some help with training, and she needs some help with her social media feed because it's not really on brand. Mm-hmm. So I reached out and I said, let's do a trade here, Lauren. Mm-hmm. Personal training for photo shoots that will help your feed look on brand for you.
I still use those photos today because everything you did was very much about being on brand, things that you can show, things that you can reuse. You taught me how to batch. Like I'm getting ahead of
yes.
it. But that's how we started. That's when we became besties years ago. And I was training you. You were helping me understand, you know, the importance of good photography, good video, and your social presence. And we were both trying to figure out how to be better entrepreneurs. Like you weren't even working for yourself fully at the time.
Oh, I worked for Phillips. So like the corporation Phillips.
Yeah.
And I was going to work every day. Mm-hmm. And I was not doing what I was meant to be doing or what I wanted to do. I was doing what I thought was smart and what gave me a really nice fat salary and complaining about it every day.
I know, right? See, that's why the solution, y'all, isn't always just to quit your job and to start over. That doesn't mean that necessarily like, you know, your problems will be solved. The grass isn't always greener. But you knew you were meant for more and that your talents were being underutilized at Phillips. Because you have like a master's in...
I do.
In
commercial photography.
Yeah, there you go. And like the real thing. I always say that. I'm like, Monica, how do you know how to use... Because we work on other projects together. How do you know how to use all these cameras? You're like, well, I actually have a master's in this.
Yeah. How'd you know how to do that?
How did you know what setting?
I was in school for like 10 years.
Yeah, she's like, it's just a 10-year degree. It's fine. But yeah, no, Monica is the bomb. And you've always made us look good and stay on brand. So talk to us how you decided to leave Phillips, start the side gig, and then the side gig evolved. So take us back there.
Sure. So actually, before this whole entrepreneurship gig began, there was another company between Phillips and me.
Food.
Yes. Which I'm still shooting a ton of food. So I was at Phillips and I said, you know, I'm doing internal social media. So Phillips is a huge corporation, 200,000 plus employees worldwide. And so I'm doing internal communications for a health technology company. And I wanted to do external social media. So I wanted to work with like more sexy brands like food and fashion and lifestyle and travel and all of these things. And I got a job with a hospitality group here in Atlanta, and I started managing their social media with no experience in managing Instagram externally for any other large corporations, but I had a leg up because I was professionally trained as a photographer and videographer. So I was shooting all of their content, writing all of their copy, community engagement.
Too much. For that wasn't even really the role. Yes. When you said, this is what I want to do, I remember when you had to be at 12 different restaurants to do 12 different tacos.
Unique brands.
Yes.
Like everything from like fine dining to fast casual. It was a lot.
And then since I've been on shoots with you, I absolutely know how you show up when it's time for work. Like you got so much shit that you bring. She has to have the the lights.
And she always says, "Is that necessary?"
Right.
It's necessary.
I'm all about efficiency. I'm
a little bit of a perfectionist.
You're more than a perfectionist. I was going to say, I don't know if most folks would get what they get from somebody like you, because you put a lot into it. So you were running around the city. Yes. Doing beautiful photography.
Thank you.
But it was probably was it a time money kind of exchange at that point?
Please, yes. Oh my gosh. 24/7. So social media in general is 24/7. If you are a social media manager, you're going to be working 24/7. That's how it is. So doing that for 12 different brands and having to show up at different times and events and get that content, but also shoot stories and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I was just driving around the city with a camera and a laptop and just trying to be present for all of these different brands. And I thought to myself, this can't be live. This is not going to work.
Yeah.
So, and by the way, I took like a $30,000 pay cut to leave.
We didn't talk about that, okay? And that wasn't even the entrepreneurship. Like you bet on yourself because you knew to go where you wanted to go.
Just get in that industry,
get in there.
And I know me. I'm gonna move up. It's gonna work out. You just have to believe it's gonna work out. So $30,000 was worth it.
It was worth it. And during that time,
and I do not regret it.
Yeah, you know what? Even with the Bad Entrepreneur podcast, I don't ever want to say I wish I didn't have the gym and I wish I didn't. Every experience that I experienced with all of my businesses got me to where I am today.
100%.
Yeah, and got my other businesses profitable. But I know you wouldn't know who you are as a photographer right now if you didn't have all this running around town and doing the most. And then what made you, I guess, understand that this isn't going to work, A, and B, I probably will make more money on my own.
Yes.
So
it was like a 50-50 mixture of both of those things. So at the time, I was meeting you at the gym at 6 a.m., working out, going back, getting showered, driving all over Atlanta, shooting, coming home, editing all night long, all while I'm on Instagram the whole day.
Oh, yeah, because you're social media managing as well.
It was
and stories,
chaos, and and there was just elements of it that were toxic, and I was just like, you know what, this is not it. 12 different brands. Now I'm thinking, like, what do people pay agencies
for that? And you already know, girl, you better say it. You know, per brand, per month, the retainer for those.
So I'm doing a little quick math.
Yeah.
Like if I just got my own, if I did this exact same thing, but on my own, started my own company, went out and got my own clients and charged, who knows?
The correct ticket.
The correct
ticket.
2,000 here, 3,000 there, whatever. I'd be doing a fraction of the work, making more money, and I'd be in charge of me.
A fraction of the work, making more money, and you're still in charge of how things are supposed to go. Like that's the actual dream of entrepreneurship.
Literally.
Most of us step out and we wind up working overtime. And it's like,
oh, I did.
I was going to say, how'd you do it so perfectly without ever,
The end. Happily ever after. No.
So you were like, I'm going to bet on myself. I know I can do this better. I know I can do this better in a way where I can make more money, possibly have more time, get my own clients for a ticket that makes sense.
Yes.
And I remember very specifically working through it with you, just in talking while in the middle of kettlebell swings and stuff.
We had workouts and business meetings every single day.
It was the best exchange of energy I could say from any of the beautiful clients I've had, because we coached each other up on like, bitch, don't do that. Oh my God.
For years.
Charge more.
Yes.
Or, what about go to this course? Or have you heard about this model?
Do you have a business coach yet?
Right. And both of us even we got into the business coaching world literally at the same time and investing in ourselves at the same time. So understanding those phrases, exchanging time for money, or not getting the ROI, or I'm not niched down yet. We don't start off like that, y'all. Yeah. We get there. So you say, you know what? I can go ahead and do this better myself. And then Hello Fancy Media.
Hello Fancy Media.
Okay. That's what.
That was the name of the business. Started the website. It was all about brand storytelling, but how important it is to be on social media, which it is.
It still is very relevant.
100%. And so I was offering full social media management.
Ooh,
so
girl.
I will not only shoot the content for you, but I'm also going to write the copy. I'm going to schedule it. I'm going to put it out there. I'm going to write analytics reports and then prove to you, hey, this is worth it.
I remember you doing this, Monica. Oh my God. And I remember that first big client that you got that took all your time.
Oh my gosh.
You was up at that store every day in Buckhead, every day, just to do one client, like just to satisfy the needs for the month or the schedule of posting that's necessary to be successful. I don't think I've ever seen you work, like one person work that hard.
Yeah.
For not the right ticket.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
And that whole idea, that whole business really became more about selling than creativity. I'm an artist. I'm not in sales.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to.
It's marketing, though. Social media marketing.
There is an element of sales in anything. I mean, still in what I do today. Mm-hmm. But that was really like cold calling people, emailing people, showing up, talking to them. What are you doing on social? How come you're not doing this on social? Why does your social media look like this? Have you thought about Instagram, Pinterest, LinkedIn? I mean, why are you not using Reels? You know, stills are not really where it's at anymore. It's got to be video. Why aren't you using video?
Oh, Lord.
Oh, my God. And then, like, trying to prove to people the ROI on that. Like, you'll make your money back, but I can't really prove it unless you're selling through, like, Shopify.
And not even trying to unpack the mindset of the business owner, because you were working with, at the time, it wasn't big corporations. It was just smaller brands. Yeah. So you're now dealing with the mindset and the mental element of working with other entrepreneurs.
And the budget.
Oh, my God. And the budget. Hello. Because we don't even think, I'm talking we, small business owners, entrepreneurs, we're not going to pay you $2,500 a month to do our social media. We don't think that that's important.
No, my kid's in high school. Not my kid, but like my high school kid can do it. My store manager can do it.
Anybody can do it.
My restaurant GM can do it. My hostess can do it. Can they?
Do you see the mess up in the mindset though? And so you're having to work against those forces that aren't even like, you know, said out loud. They're understated.
I'm starting to like pull my hair out.
Yeah, and you're being, I remember you were just undervalued, put out beautiful work, but it was the most artistic photography I've ever seen for some of the more like basic businesses. Like I was like, damn, like the shadow over here, this is black and white.
And that's
like,
for a story that's going to be deleted in 24 hours.
Just for a story alone. So the first iteration of Hello Fancy Media, it went from this trying to be a social media manager, and then what did you discover, and what was the next iteration?
So the next iteration of Hello Fancy Media was me realizing that people were coming to me and like, oh, I want you to manage my social. I want to have 10,000 followers by next quarter. You don't even have a logo.
Ooh, hello. Hello, but I want 10,000 followers.
Let me talk about your branding, because it's non-existent. Like, who is your audience? So let's take a step back. Oh my God, your website looks terrible. So if I can get people to like you on Instagram,
they will never convert.
And then they go to your website, they're going to leave, and then it's going to be on me because I'm the one.
You, and I've given you my money now, so it's definitely your fault.
So maybe we should start also offering web design and graphic design.
I think I may have missed this. That's when you hired. Okay, I got you.
So,
gotcha.
Yep. So I had someone who she still does social media work for me.
She still does mine too.
Yes,
she made this logo.
Shout out Jordan
Rhodes. Yeah, she made my logo and color palette.
Jordan is fabulous. Jordan is a web designer and a graphic designer. And so I said, okay, Hello Fancy Media is now photography, videography, social media marketing, web design, and graphic design.
And for those of us that know the gravity of work that it takes to do any of those jobs well, that is a full-on agency level retainer, especially because the way that you sell my business is completely custom than the way that you would sell somebody else's business, even if we were in the same industry. But you didn't even realize what type of package that truly is. Girl, I should have known. I should have got me a website at that time. Shit.
Yeah.
I should have slid in there.
You should have.
So you and Jordan were kind of thugging it out, just doing these multi-service things. How long were you doing that before you realized this ain't it either?
Maybe 6 months. And then I ran into Sally Holder. She is a female entrepreneur business coach.
Okay.
Her company is called The Brim. And I met her at the Southern Coterie Summit at
And she's
Sea
niche
Island.
to creatives, isn't she? Or is it just business women?
Nope, just women in business.
Okay.
And I ran into her that fall, and I said, I remember you. You did the keynote speech this past January. Since then, let me tell you what I'm doing. All the things I just told you. And I said, so do I need to get a loan, hire people, turn this into a full-blown agency, or do I need to rethink this whole thing? And she was like, holy shit.
Rethink it.
You need to work with me.
Yeah.
So I immediately signed up for her mastermind, which that's a whole nother conversation. I highly recommend.
Coaching and mastermind. We can talk about that too. Yeah.
I signed up for her 3-month mastermind. And on day 1, she said, Magic Fairy Dust, what are you doing? Forget time and money and magic. Like you're extremely wildly successful. What is it that you do? And I'm like,
I don't know.
I'm a photographer. I'm shooting like really fun, gorgeous photos, like period.
Yeah.
And she was like, that's what you're doing from now on. And so I said,
I love
delete.
I love that framing of it, though.
I said delete on Hello Fancy. Well, I kept the name Hello Fancy Media because like, you know, how it is.
I know. And it's and I think the name still it suits you and who you are. Yeah.
But I did some research on what I wanted my website to be. Like that was very me. And if you look at the website now and you know me, which obviously you do, it's very me.
It's very her. Just such a girl. I just cannot.
And I got Jordan to work. I said, we're doing a whole new website. Jordan, I love you, but no more web design, no more graphic design. Like I actually gave some of my clients to Jordan. I'm one of them. Yeah. I said, here, do what you will. Help all these people out. Like, I am starting over.
Yeah. Such a big, how did that feel for you? Because we're in the thick of it. And, you know, identity is in our businesses. And you are constantly reworking and retooling, having to let some people go a little bit. How was that mentally for you?
It was like a weight lifted.
Yeah.
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 It was great.
Yeah.
It was like people come to me and ask me, oh, I remember you from such and such, or I met you through such, or I remember seeing whatever on Instagram. Can I talk to you about social media? Nope.
No, how about it?
But let me tell you who can, and I will pass work off to anyone else.
Oh, I've got tons of people to refer.
I pass off work to other photographers all the time.
Because it's not in your niche and it's not going to feed the business that you're trying to build. Yeah. I remember when I was transitioning, you and I talked. I was like, girl, I think I'm going to change my Instagram name. Because I was Trainer Lauren for so long and I needed desperately to be ripped away from being seen as a fitness trainer. Because that was never my primary income. It was never my main thing.
That was your entire feed.
It was my feed though. And how important is messaging and how you show up. And so I remember, even though business wasn't making money, really, really fucking hated it there. Everything was falling apart. I still was like, oh my God, should I change my Instagram name? One would think that I shouldn't have to get,
like as if Instagram is like the holy grail.
Right. As if Instagram is the holy grail and it's the only way for me to get business.
And there's no going back.
No. Once I do it, it's like, oh my God, what are these 15,000 people that I don't even know going to think about my name change? But guess what? After about a year of vacillating, because I didn't do it. I did it a year later than I should have. But I changed it to I Am Lauren Powers. Some little girl in Illinois, honey, got Trainer Lauren, honey. She over here piddling around, doesn't even have a good picture up of herself. So she can be Trainer Lauren and live, But now I Am Lauren Powers. I feel so confident in the brand. I'm only focused on business. I'm still coaching. And it's just such a perfect alignment. And it feels easy. Yeah. And that's what you want in business. So now with Hello Fancy Media, easy may be a word to say, but how does it feel? Like, how does it feel? What type of clients are you getting? Have your rates changed? How has everything evolved?
So my rates immediately changed. They went from, ranging from like a couple hundred to several thousand. A couple hundred should not even be in my vocabulary. That's insane.
Not for anything that you do. No, it just doesn't
That's
fit.
crazy.
It just doesn't fit.
And the thing about it is people would come to me and be like, I just need like a headshot. That's it. One headshot. Okay, well, I can't charge. I don't feel right charging you thousands of dollars for that. So I'll do it for, a few $100s or whatever. No, I won't do it now. No, I won't do anything like that now. Rates begin at $3,000.
Amen. Come on. Come on.
So,
who here needs Hello Fancy Media? She started at $3,000. And you'll get a beautiful, beautiful product. That's what
but you will not get a headshot.
Oh, exactly. Or you can pay $3,000 for a headshot. Is that? Hey, if the money talk, girl, if the check clears, take the money.
Right.
So you got packages now that make sense. You're not trying to feed this broad range of client. And I know that you do have certain things to make yourself accessible to larger groups, like pop-ups and or I don't know, are you still doing those? Where it just be like a shooting day for multiple business owners? What?
I have not done that, but
I thought that you had a day or something where people can come in and get like a little mini shoot or a mini package.
No.
So you're done with those?
No, I haven't.
We're even further in it.
Oh, it's not. Hello Fancy Media does not even exist anymore. It's just Monica Farber.
Yes.
Period. The end. That's that.
So what's your tagline? So if they say, who are you? What do you do? What do you tell people?
I am a published brand and lifestyle photographer who tells stories through photography and video. I work with food, fashion, and travel brands, and I help tell their stories.
Do you work with individuals anymore, or do you only work with brands?
You know what? I haven't, but that's not to say I wouldn't. It would depend on the individual.
Sure. Because we know what your rates are, and we know, what you're trying to attract.
Yeah.
So it could be an individual out there who wants just a food shoot or a travel shoot.
I shoot a ton of food.
Yeah. And I've seen like the cocktails and stuff that she be shooting. I'm you know how we are about our cocktails.
Everybody goes to the cocktails.
Right. I'm looking for a new Hello Fancy like recipe for some cocktails. But all right, so you've evolved now. So you are, just Monica Farber, just the high end, appropriately ticketed professional photographer. And are you loving it? Are you attracting the right people, and how are you attracting them?
Yes, I do love it. How am I attracting them? I will tell you, as much as I'm always like social media, I attract people through word of mouth because I am a good networker, and I invest a lot of money into networking opportunities.
Into your networking.
So summits, I just got back from Austin, Texas Wednesday. I was there. Where was I before that? 2 weeks before that, I was at the Cherry Bomb Jubilee in New York City. So that is creative women in the world of food and beverage.
Okay. Look at you right with the people that you need to be hanging around with.
Food and beverage. Last week, it was all female entrepreneurs. In January, I was at the Southern Sea Summit.
That's the one. That's the great. You've gotten some magazines out of that one.
I love that one. Actually, I met someone through there, and honestly, I don't even know if I met her in person or if she just found my name on the website because I'm a member of the Southern Coterie. But I did a big shoot for Okabee women's shoes, like these really cute nautical, brightly colored sandals. We went to Tybee Island and did a styled shoot for a week. It was so much fun and like exactly what I've always wanted to do.
So, it's an interesting discussion because a lot of folks want to open a business, but they're not willing to invest in themselves and the proper tools. You and me had to get with the right people that are doing what we want to do way better. Like, that's like literally it. Like, you don't partner with people that are dumber than you.
I make it, and I always tell people this, I make it a point to, this may sound silly, I want to be the least educated, the least successful, and the poorest person in the room in every single room I'm in.
Up-level that audience. Up-level the people that
you are who you surround yourself with.
Who you surround yourself with.
That's why we hang out.
Exactly. So right. Like, we're not trying to bring the stock of the group down. We're trying to be. So we joined. We are in different masterminds, but I know we started attending summits, masterminds, conferences, and workshops where we're not getting paid to be there. We're actually paying to be there.
A lot of money.
A lot of money.
Went from like
I went 50,000.
Yeah.
Like, literally, I know how much your masterminds and things were cost. And you would travel there. You would sometimes, if it's Savannah, you would drive. I don't think that the average entrepreneur is taking the time to really learn how to be the $1 million thing or the 6-figure thing. If I did not hire business coaches, I would have no idea how to have a multi-6-figure coaching platform as a side hustle. And like, that's like what you want, right?
Yeah.
So talk to me about investing in yourself and how you utilize these relationships. Like, what things have you done to like get people to hire you?
Sure. So, first off, I'll tell you, last year I invested 60% of what I made into networking. Smart. Summits. 60%. That's what you have to do, honestly.
You're still in a startup mode. Yeah. Like, if you guys didn't hear, Monica went through iterations to get to where this is the thing. Those first 3 years was research. It was R&D. It was you having clients that probably weren't the right fit. You running all over Buckhead. You're up-leveling your equipment. You may have taken some more courses. You may have joined some more masterminds. And now here we are. Instagram's been rethought. You're attracting the right client. I mean, you're living a dream, girl.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, literally, like you are absolutely living the dream. So to get these businesses, are you sending them emails? Are you texting?
I'm having conversations with them like I'm having with you right now. Do you want to be on my podcast? Hell yes, I do.
And that's exactly what I did.
Do you want to go have a cocktail with me? Hell yes, I do.
Let's do it.
Do you want to come to this? Okay, so here's a piece of advice I would give to anybody. A lot of people who I would think might skip over going to a workshop or a summit or a conference because it's thousands of dollars. They don't want to pay for it. And they don't want to pay for it. Or they're worried about the ROI. Sitting in this big ballroom during a conference, taking notes, speaker after speaker after speaker. Are they really going to learn enough from those presentations to take it back and really
put that
into action and then make money off of that. I'll tell you what, I make most of my ROI from these workshops come from the people I meet, not from the presentations. Yeah, maybe I'll take away a little
people
snippet.
There at the conference.
It's the coffee before the presentations. Yep. It's the happy hour after. It's the dinners. Like, I'll be walking around and be like, I don't know you. Let me introduce myself to her, her. Okay, let's go have dinner together. And then I'm at a table with 10 people who I've never met before that day.
Networking.
There you go.
I wish people would adopt that idea. Since I have my marketing agency, most of the time I'm getting doctors, dentists who just want to pay for cold traffic and use, the law of let me just shoot the money gun and see what shakes out, because I can make enough people work for me to try to get some of these folks on the phone or to get them to book a consultation. I would much prefer a startup or a new business. Prove that you can sell the shit on your own before you start trying to bring anybody else into it. Prove that you can network and attract people. Don't rely on, a cold audience stumbling upon you on Google. Like, prove that your family or friends will buy it from you. Like, if I won't invest in you, Monica, if your friends that are, business to business, like what you're looking for, if they won't do it or won't even consider it, what makes you think a stranger would? Yeah. Like, people need to be bought into your idea. So I wish that more people would network and invest. I don't know why. I don't get the why, but having a business coach has made me the most profitable that I've ever been. So are you joining any more new groups this year, or what new things are you adding to network more? Fashion Week? I know you always go to Fashion Week.
I do always go to Fashion Week. Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. I might be going to Fashion Week in September.
Are you working it?
I have made myself a promise, a deal that I'm not going unless I profit off of it. In the past, I've gone to Fashion Week just because
you love it, and you need to be in that.
And that content. I mean, people want me to shoot, dresses for them, and they're like, oh, she shoots at Fashion Week, and like all this content is really good and everything. I mean, it's good for the portfolio, it's good for Instagram and all of that. But if I'm going to have a serious profit for me to go this September.
Okay, so you put it into the atmosphere. The intention is that you're going to have a great gig up in New York.
Yep.
And it's gonna introduce you and even open more doors. And yes, it has to be profitable. I don't think it's gonna be exposure. Yep. Monica, I think it'll be...
We're beyond that.
We're so beyond exposure. Oh my gosh. And
it's good for your portfolio.
Oh my God, no. Not when you're especially leaving the city and going to... you're traveling.
I'm 39 years old.
Ooh,
okay.
Oh, you finna be 40.
I have a portfolio.
I know, right? Yes, we do have an actual portfolio. All right, so tell me, what's the one thing that that you absolutely not even focus on like videographers and photographers, but the biggest lesson that you learned from your missteps in your evolution? Like, if you know this one thing,
just to know that things are not going to end up the way that you plan them to be. Like, it seemed like a good business decision to go into social media. And then, it's also a good business decisions to offer web design and graphic design, get bigger and bigger and make sure everyone's happy and, nickel and dime it here and there. I'll tell you what I'm doing right now is like what I went to college for.
Oh, wow. Imagine that.
15 years ago, 20 years, I don't know. Yeah. I mean, what if I had just gone out with like the know and the confidence to be like, we're just going to be a photographer, and we're just going to shoot only commercial gigs, and we're going to charge.
Wouldn't that be great?
X amount. Yeah, that would have been nice. But be okay with the journey being not like a straight line. It being kind of crazy, because you'll learn things and pick it up along the way.
That's what entrepreneurship is.
Yeah.
It's a hot mess of a ride.
It is.
That you have to be okay with, staying the course, especially if you're fixing things. Now, if you were doing what I was doing for 10 years, I wasn't really fixing anything. I had to actually close mine because the machine just got too big to control. Like, it was just out of control, right? We had to close and reopen. Thankfully, you didn't have to do that. But what is the next, 5 years? And I really want those that are solopreneurs to listen, because Monica has very... you operate lean. So you don't have 12 assistants. You don't have 10 camera people. You may make Mikey work. I don't know if Mikey is on the team.
I can't afford him.
Oh, right. Mikey is a rich bitch. So we may have to, we don't want to pay his retainer. But what is for a solopreneur who really does want to be able to evolve out of the business at some point? What's 5 and 10 years looking like for your brand?
So I do not plan on ever leaving. Okay, because this is what I like to do.
You love it.
Even whenever I travel for fun, I'm going to I just went to Africa in September. I wasn't paid to
I'm
shoot.
still annoyed with you for that.
Yeah. You should be.
I know.
But I have all these photos that people are constantly commenting on. I did that for fun.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to do that forever. So there is no exit strategy, I guess you would say.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I do have goals over the next 5 years that I change weekly. Like right now, I'm really wanting to start doing a little bit of research on licensing agencies. So instead of being hired per job, and I'm like, okay, I'm hired by you to go to Savannah and shoot for 3 days for this brand, and I'm charging you X amount of, okay, well then that's time for money. Mm-hmm. But what if I could license my photos out like those same ones again and again and again and again?
That's smart. You hear that, guys? Licensing your work.
Yes.
Hello. It's awesome. Smart.
Like make money while you sleep. I've already shot those maybe back in 2017, but Travel and Leisure wants to feature for Scythe Park in Savannah, and so that's the idea anyway. So I want to look into that, and I want to get more travel work, and that is going to
That's a perfect combination of two things you love.
I do.
Travel and photography.
I'm going to Croatia in 4 or 5 weeks
to work.
To work. You gotta manifest that shit.
I know. Manifest that. I love that. That's why you gotta manifest the New York Fashion Week being
it's gonna happen.
It's definitely gonna happen.
I'm gonna shoot more travel stuff this year. And as soon as I decided we're only doing food, fashion, travel, this is what we're gonna do. A friend of mine who I met in Croatia last year, she has a travel company, a small travel company with her husband out in Portland. Mm-hmm. And they host groups to different European locations. But she said, moving forward, we're only going to Croatia. Mm-hmm. So will you come out and shoot some content for me? Hell yes, I will.
Absolutely, I will. Oh my God, and Croatia's beautiful.
Yes.
So you're gonna, again, annoyed with you for living your dream and making it all work together. Okay,
thank you.
But you talked about exiting, right? And I preach exit. But obviously, it depends on the structure of your business. For my business coaching, which is not this brick and mortar establishment or anything, it's something that I can do for fun. And I even say in my intro calls to folks, this is something I plan on doing when I retire. Mm-hmm. Where at that point I'm on the shores of Johannesburg and I have my guest house.
I'll come with you.
Right, exactly. We're just having a ball. You're probably there for work, and I'm there.
We're drinking wine.
We're just drinking wine, right? And so that would be my envision of retirement. So I'm still working. My skills are still sharp. And as you guys know, as you get closer to retire, what happens to your ticket? It gets higher. So I'll probably only have 3 or 4 clients that are paying $6,000 to $100,000 a year for my coaching, right? Who $400,000 for a retirement?
I mean, I'm not gonna be working full time forever.
I would never work full time. What? She would never. But 2 coaching clients that are paying the correct ticket in retirement, because that's an additional 20 years of expertise or whatever I'm bringing to the table at that point. So know that, y'all. If you plan on working in retirement, which we are, we just are. I don't plan because we love it.
We'll need to because
we're going to set ourselves up correctly to not have to need to. But what will keep your brain sharp, and still serve the passion that's inside of you? Every business, unless you're truly just buying property or buying widgets or product sales, there is a fire inside of us that still stays lit because of our business. So if you let that fizzle, you could fizzle too. And so if you need to make sure, Monica, you always have your little camera kit next to you, be a little old lady taking pictures of people, and I'll be right there too, drinking wine and bossing somebody around on the side. Okay. All right, so I'm back on track. So 5 years now, 10 years from now, you could start licensing your stuff, get hired.
Oh no, that's within the year.
Amen. Monetize.
5 years.
Manifest that shit. Say it.
Within the year.
Say it. Yes. Say it. Yeah. So and you obviously, who's teaching you this stuff on how to actually license? It's just you being in the industry,
me.
Just learning
research,
as you go.
Listening to podcasts. Mm-hmm. I listen to a ton of podcasts, and I'll just jump around and get little snippets here and there. Motivational people, business coaches, women who work with other women entrepreneurs.
And you know how we feel about that.
Other photographers. Just so much.
Do you ever think you'll start coaching or teaching other photographers?
That's interesting.
Is it in you?
Because they're a little bit of... If you were to ask me this a year ago, I would say absolutely not. Hell no. I'm not interested at all. But I am, and this conversation began only a week ago, I am in the works of putting together a workshop for photographers who know how to shoot already.
Okay.
It is going to be a workshop on how to style photography. It's going to take place at the beginning of next year. There's another photographer who I'm working with in Charleston. It's probably going to be somewhere along the East Coast, like Charleston, maybe Savannah, maybe like one of the Golden Isles. And it will be like a retreat where you come and you stay for a long weekend, and we show you how to style like an editorial shoot.
This is awesome. Now, I have a question for you, and you're probably already thinking of this. Is there any part of what you're doing that weekend that you can repurpose into a mini course to sell on demand online?
Smart. You should.
Any portion of it.
All of it. I mean, take behind the scenes. That's content. Take video recordings. That's content. Take testimonials from attendees. That's content. I mean,
so
Gary Vee talks about it. Like what we're doing now.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, this is like, y'all, this is like 10 different pieces of content.
All in one. I'm doing the same thing with the podcast. So if you can repurpose one of the workshops, or like maybe that's the lighting or the setup or something, girl, that's $47 that can live on your website, maybe $97. And if you include a workbook with it, make it $197. And now you really, we got
maybe $497.
Oh, $497. Yeah, because this is going to help them monetize their own photography business. So you can't, go cheap on the price. Mm-hmm. You just made me think of something. This portion of the show, I'm just going to rapid fire questions for you. Okay. And you just, give me your first thought, your first gut. Okay. Travel or food?
Travel.
Ooh, I thought you were going to say food. Dang.
Most
okay.
people would.
Work with your husband or have husband work for you?
Work with my husband.
Oh, Mikey. He's so cute. We love Mikey. Fashion or food?
Fashion.
You don't pick food for anything? You know what?
I made a rapid fire. I don't know.
Fashion or cocktails?
Fashion.
So clearly, we're gonna I have to make sure I combine both when we're together. Favorite country you've been to? Favorite country for photography?
Oh,
I know.
I mean, for photography, favorite country, Italy. And yet that's the only country I've never taken photos in.
You didn't take any photos on that. Is that the trip that you said, I didn't get any photos? Because it's just a couple years ago, wasn't it?
I've been a couple times.
Like, yeah, you've been.
And I've never taken any photos.
Because you're bougie.
I was just like living my best life. Like, I'm not working.
Favorite landscape. You do a lot of, not landscape is the wrong word, but where it's like a horizon. Like you'll show so what's your favorite horizon or landscape that you've done? I've seen some very pretty ones you've done.
Greece.
Oh, Greece was pretty. Do you want to be considered a business owner or an entrepreneur?
Entrepreneur.
Hey, start up a business or scale a business?
Scale.
Yeah, that's like the great place to be, right? Like right now. So okay, so that's the done with my rapid fire questions. But your travel, fashion, or food, and you kept picking travel and fashion. So at some point,
I like food though.
I know you like food. We love food.
Okay. I think that travel includes food. Okay, how are you gonna shoot travel without shooting food?
That's true.
It's like that's like saying Anthony Bourdain specialized in travel. No, he didn't. He specialized in food, but he did travel the planet.
He did
to showcase that food.
What you talking about, Anthony Bourdain? Girl, you're so bougie and smart.
I
know. So, what other projects do you have coming up? Let us know. Tell us about what's next for you.
So next is Croatia
for a paid gig. Amen.
Then let's see. What do I have? I have a video shoot coming up for a local company called Instead of Flowers.
Okay.
And so it is gourmet meal kits, basically.
Oh, cool.
So if I wanted to congratulate you on whatever, and instead of sending you flowers, I would send you this. And it's not like Blue Apron or something like where you're going to have to cook it. It's like a chef prepared meal.
Nice.
That comes packaged, and I've tried it all, and it's so good.
And it's meant to be a gift.
Yes. It's very cool company.
Local to Atlanta?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's super cool.
So I'm shooting video for them. What else
We're manifesting New York Fashion Week, where you're going, it's going to be a profitable trip.
Yep.
Okay.
New York Fashion Week.
Yep.
And then I am not for work, but I am traveling to London, Paris, and Germany this year. And so I'll be shooting in all of those locations with my licensing deals in mind.
Oh my goodness. like Adobe stock could be buying your photos pretty soon.
They will.
Or yes, because you gotta manifest that shit.
Yes.
Listen, okay, so tell everybody where they can find you, Monica.
You can find me at monicafarber.com or on Instagram at @theMonicaFarber.
I'm so happy to have my friend Monica here with us, sharing with us her evolution. I hope you guys all learn. She's a boss. She's a beast. You can make sure you follow her. And for the podcast, y'all, thank you. Please come and check us out again next week. Make sure you follow, like, share, subscribe everywhere their podcasts are available. And catch me on Instagram at I am Lauren Powers. I will see you next time. Thanks, Monica.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Entrepreneur podcast. After all, we can't run from my past. Talk about it. Bad Entrepreneur podcast. Talk about it. The Bad Entrepreneur podcast.